Good afternoon. It's Congressman Doug LaMalfa talking to you from Washington, D.C. Thank you, ladies, for the Golden State gathering. Appreciate what you do and that you wanted to hear from me today. So I think when we're looking at what we're facing here about 54 days from now as I speak for this extra election, hey, an extra election, right? Wow, Shazam. In California, which is required just about the full effort of an election anyway, a regular one, with this scheme to change the maps in California. And it's one of the most blatantly naked political power plays I've seen in my time around all this stuff. Just basically trampling the state constitution. The voters affirmed 3 times that they wanted the remapping process out of the grubby hands of legislators and in the hands of an independent commission. Hey, the commission hasn't always been perfect, we get all that, but the lines they draw at least aren't self-serving for themselves. And we've seen that enough times with legislators drawing maps in California and in other states and just how bad it can go. So it's going to be a very strong effort on stopping Proposition 50, and I appreciate all of you being so keenly interested in it. We got volunteers coming out of the woodwork wanting to help on that, and so people, I think, are getting the gravity of just how blatant of an end run around the Constitution and the people's voice that placed this there, how bad it really is, and that's gratifying because we can't let them get away with this power grab. It's sick. It's pathetic, and it'll make it more difficult for people to understand whose district or what district number they even reside in when the lines keep changing under their feet. And if it can happen every time they felt like doing it across the country because the precedent has been established that, you know, there's a lot of discipline towards just keeping it as it is for the entire decade after the census and the lines are drawn. And that discipline will be pretty much out the window the more this happens. And so California can't be leading the way on trampling its own constitution, where again, 3 times, 3 different initiatives were affirmed by the voters to keep in place what we have. And so this is the most important thing we could be doing right now as volunteers, as those of us with the voices to turn back Prop 50, because we should be frying other fish right now anyway. So for the next 50-something days, we have to put this fire out and make sure it doesn't happen, because the representation, especially for rural California, will become shifted to urban legislators, okay? Now think about my district up there in the far north. Modoc County in the northeast corner will be in the same district and representation as Sausalito and Marin County, okay? They're about as far opposite as they are far apart. My understanding, it'll take at least 7-8 hours or more to drive, if you want to drive from one end to the other. And that's just not going to be good representation. Modoc and those areas, those several counties up there, are the area where the wolves have been introduced and are ravaging not only the wildlife, but the ranchers up there too, and their livestock and all that. They're making it unsafe to go outside if the wolves are near you, near your home or what have you. You can't forget about sending your kids to the bus stop or something. Forget about putting your pets out at night or even in the daylight, because these wolves have been introduced. Now, do they gonna have a voice from these coastal legislators? Because I've been speaking out and doing what I can to legislate and change and make fuss to get these guys' attention in Sacramento and DC. It's mostly Sacramento foisting us on them, but we need to change the Federal Endangered Species Act, for example, and make it where, if something is listed, that it can actually come off the list, because there's tens of thousands of these wolves in the upper Midwest and in Canada, where it's not like we're going to run out of gray wolves if we don't have them in every county in California. So, I mean, that district issue will be lost because the Bay Area legislator likes this. They won't have a voice like me or others that are normally representing rural areas speaking up, saying, no, we need to do forestry, we need to cut trees, we need to build our water supply instead of giving all the water to the fish. No, we don't need electric cars up in our part of the woods because it's so far between charging stations and the weather and the cold weather, they don't perform well. This and so many other things. And, the values that Charlie Kirk gave his life for, basically, will be completely lost when you have urban legislators representing us in those parts of the state that have traditionally sent rural legislators and conservative thinkers to Sacramento or Washington, D.C. So we're going to lose a lot if this is allowed to happen. And just the idea that they get away with something like this, we can't let them pull this off. You know, whether it benefits me or anybody else is the lesser deal, is more. We can't let them just blatantly trample the Constitution. It's so deceptive. Even the measure on the ballot more or less says, you know, Proposition 50 affirms the redistricting commission process, although we're setting aside for the next 3 elections, okay? Don't let them get away with this nonsense, okay? And I can speak a little more barnyard talk if you wanted me to, because everybody should be angry by this. Anyway, I haven't been very cheery on this call here, but it does show us we have to take up arms and go after what we need to do here, you know, at the ballot box while we still can, and express ourselves and get the truth out. Charlie Kirk tried so hard to get the truth out and save people's lives, save people's souls, and he always brought it back to God on how important it was for people to hear the real truth and lead them out of the darkness and deceptiveness that this society and the sickos in this society are leading when they, you know, with the sex changes and males and female sports and all that stuff, and somehow that being legitimate. I mean, that should be like a 5-second question. Hey, should we have boys and girls sports? No, that's easy. Nothing's easy anymore. So we need people to be out there. And I guess in that sense, let's honor Charlie and his life's work by us being strong too. So thank you all so much. God bless you. Let's win this fight this November, and the bigger ones we have to keep doing after that. Thanks.